Hello, baby cakes. How are you all doing? It's me, Lorenzo Buttram Hubbard. Hashtag, I'm Lorenzo, bitch. And I wanted to take a minute, well, more than one, and talk to you guys about some things that I think are important, especially for the people who work in the same profession that I work in, which is architectural and interior design. And this even crosses over to my social life, being the gay socialite. And I have been in my profession now for over 30 years. And I say this, anybody, and this is going out to anybody out there, anybody who has been successful in their profession for over 30 years, girl, you're doing something right. But there are also things that you could probably be doing better. Me too, I know I could. But what I'm gonna talk to you guys about tonight are the politics of interior design, and as well as architecture. And if you want to play those games, and the reason this particular subject came to me is, or I decided that I wanted to share this particular subject with you, is because I had two different things happen to me recently, and both of them were they were disturbing to me. And I realized, I have never played the political game in order to get clients. Now, maybe had I played the political game, I would have more clients than I do, and I would have had more clients than I've had. And I've been fortunate. I've had clients from all over the world, and some of them political and political people, but doing something for them that was normally personal. I've never done anything in like a government office or something like that. But what happened, I'll tell you guys what happened, and then I'll explain to you about how I feel, and we'll go from there. I had lunch recently with someone who represented one of the top developers here in Miami. And of course, I never mention names because I don't think that's professional, so I'm not gonna do it unless it's, the right kind of situation. But in this situation, it's not. So I had lunch with someone, and they basically said to me, "You're incredibly talented. I love your work. The person I represent would consider using you as a designer on some of their projects, but only if you donate it to their charity." Now, left off, this person, I'm not even gonna say how wealthy this person is because then that kind of narrows it down, but they're not broke, let's just say that. But I was like, wait, what? So what you're saying to me is I can be the most talented and the best person for a particular job, but if I'm not donating to a person's charity, then I'm not considered for that job, really? Okay, so that was one scenario, and I expressed at that meeting that I was very uncomfortable with that. I just never heard of, obviously I've heard of things like that happening, but I was just a little uncomfortable having to deal with it face to face and having someone say that, and then having to say how I felt about it, The second was having someone call me, a realtor, and telling me that and I can say this part but telling me that they were representing someone from one of the Miami Heat people, and I'm not gonna say if it's player, back office, I'm not gonna say that because it's not important, but that they also had been I had been referred to them by another realtor. This realtor told them that I was talented and that I did amazing work. And the next question they asked me, which was pretty much the first question they asked me, was what type of commission do I give to them a referral fee do I give? And would I put it in writing that I give that particular referral fee? What? Okay. So, and I said to the person, wait. You haven't asked me to see my portfolio. You haven't asked me anything about any jobs that I've done anywhere in the world or for whom, but you are asking me about what type of referral fee I would actually give you. So what you're telling me is my talent is less important than the referral fee, which means that you're really not looking for the best designer for your client. What you're looking for is the person who's going to give you the largest check. Okay, so for the people who work in my profession, and there are people I'm sure out there that play this game, I do not, have not, and will not. If someone hires me, they're going to hire me because I'm talented. They're going to hire me because I'm the best person for the job. They're not going to hire me because I'm giving their real estate agent or a check. Now, I will absolutely give someone a thank you. I have no problem with that. If somebody refers work to me, I think you should give them a thank you. Absolutely. And if that thank you should be money, or that thank you should be a dinner, or that thank you should be a gift, whatever, I don't have a problem with that. I think that it is, but I think that real estate agents and architects or developers should be referring a designer based on talent, and they think that you're going to do the absolute best job for that client possible. You're not going to rip them off, you're not going to take advantage of them, and you are the perfect fit for that client. That's how you refer, not based on the fact that you think you're going to get a check. Sorry. And for the multi-dollar-naires, the people who have more money than what they know what to do with, who can probably afford to fund any type of charity that they would like on their own. If you are only doing business with people who, because there's a big difference. I want to kind of cut my sentence there. There's a big difference between saying I only do business with people who do business with me, and I only do business with people who donate to my charity. That's almost like saying I only do business with people who donate to this particular cause. Saying that I only do business with people who do business with me, I can almost respect that, because that's just saying, okay, why am I spending money with someone who's not even spending money with me? I can respect that, but to only do business with someone who, or only consider even looking at the work of someone who is donating to a particular charity, I can't respect. Because there are many designers or architects who maybe can't afford to donate to whatever charity you have, but they're talented. And they should still be considered for whatever project or whatever job you're working on. That's just how I believe. So I just wanted to take a minute to say that, okay, there are those of us out there that absolutely, that are in the arts and that are working hard to create the best name possible, and to always make sure that we deliver for our clients, and that our clients are happy with the work that what we create. And you can be a fashion designer, and you could be a landscape designer, architectural designer, you could be an interior designer, you could be whichever type of designer, or you could be an artist, a sculptor, whatever. You're someone in the arts and you're creating the absolute best product for that client. But I don't think that the politics that is involved should limit your exposure. And when I say limit your exposure, please hear what I'm saying. Limit you even having an opportunity to sit at the table and show your work. I'm not saying that you're automatically supposed to get the job. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying that I feel that I'm not saying anything against the people who actually, I'm a member of ASID. Am I a person who goes to every single ASID dinner and sits on the board and goes to every single function and tries to rub shoulders, whatever? I don't do that, but I am a member and I do pay my dues every single month. So there are some people who would consider that as being kind of political in my field, because I'm part of a particular organization. That's why it's important that if you go to my website, Lawrence Hubbard Designs, you will see all the organizations that I belong to or have belonged to. Because I do think that that's important for clients to be able to make that decision. Maybe there's something, there's a particular organization that you belong to, or there's something that they don't feel comfortable working with you, and that's okay. And so that's why I listed. But I don't think that so when I talk about the politics, I'm not talking about the politics of being a part of a particular organization or the politics of being from a particular political party and blah, blah, blah. I think most of you guys get what I'm speaking of. I'm talking about the politics of being able to get an account, the politics of being able to present your job. Now, I'm gonna say this honest, and it's hard. It's very difficult, and I'm a designer of color. I'm in a field and been successful in a field for over 30 years that a person of color, a person who looks like me, is not necessarily supposed to be successful in. There are people who don't hire me just because of the way I look. Do I think that doesn't happen? Absolutely, I know it happens. But that does not mean that I have to do something that I feel uncomfortable with in order to get a job. And part of that would be paying people in order to have a seat at the table. I don't feel comfortable with that. I would love to hear from other architects and interior designers and some developers even, and how you feel about that. Maybe some of you will totally disagree with me. And I hope that the people who disagree, and I do appreciate that there are quite a few people who DM me, they send me private messages, they don't send me something that's public. And you can also follow me on Instagram. Instagram is Lorenzo Buttram Hubbard, and I'm also on Facebook, and that's Lorenzo Hubbard. I do not mind mind receiving new friends or your feedback. And I absolutely do not mind answering any questions for any new people who are just starting in this field. I've said it before, I think on several blogs back, that when I got started in this field, no one wanted to help me. No one wanted to give me guidance, no one wanted to answer questions. And I'm not saying, when I say answer questions, who are your contacts and who did that? That's not the type of questions I'm talking about. But there are some type of questions that you can answer. You know, I've had many architectural and interior design students as interns. Some of the most difficult questions they've had are, how do you get a client? How do you negotiate a contract? How do you write a contract? Oh my God, how do you get your client to pay you? Questions like that. So I don't mind answering those type of questions at all. So have no problem, and I want to hear all you guys have to say about the politics that are involved in the arts and the politics that are involved in my field, architectural and interior design. I would love to hear from you, and I will talk to you babies later. Remember, it's Lorenzo Buttram Hubbard on Instagram, and it's Lorenzo Hubbard on Facebook. And my hashtag is what? I'm Lorenzo, bitch. Hashtag the gay socialite. Hashtag the Brickle socialite. And I am, for all of you, I am trying my hardest with this social media. I figured out Snapchat today, how to upload you videos to Snapchat. I'm figuring it out, and I'm gonna conquer this Miss Instagram. I don't know how to do it yet, but girl, when I figure it out, it's gonna be something else. So, good night, babies.